everyone, welcome to my channel today. I'm showing you today an art journal that I made. It's more of an art folder really, but it's like a collection that you can pick up and take off with when you want to go and do some painting in the garden or something like that, or you're going away and you want to just take a small amount of your art things to enjoy while you're away for a weekend or something and you don't want to take the whole lot. This is a sort of folio where you can collect the bits and pieces that you need just to take with you for short term. Now I've made this out of one of the packaging that comes with our books from like Amazon or World Books or wherever you order your bits and pieces from, and you get these type of postage folders, and they're a great idea to recycle, upcycle and make into something else that you can actually keep using for a bit longer, make them look beautiful. So this is just a small one. They come in many different sizes. The one that I used for the art journal was a little bit bigger, as you can see, than this particular one, but it works just the same. You could have a small one or you could have one bigger. So I'll just show you the one that I have made, and I've put together in a little collection here with some cute bits and pieces. So I'll just take the decorations away for a moment. This little book is one that I have made from scratch, and it's a little journal that I use for artwork. It has watercolour pages on the inside, and so I've just put a couple of signatures, and I haven't made them too thick with pages so that you can, do a bit of work in here, some sketching or some painting, and still have plenty of room. So that's a little art journal that I have made that I intend to put in my folio to take with me if I decide to take off somewhere. So these are pretty easy to construct. I've just got this old belt wrapped around it, which I picked up at an upcycling store, and it just helps to keep it closed. I thought, what kind of patch would I put on this particular journal, but because it's quite big, it needed something with a little bit of heft that would actually hold it together, especially if you load it up with quite a lot of bits and pieces. So this one I have covered in this beautiful William Morris print that I received in a collection of papers from the Pepin Company, and I will put a link below so you can see, if you're a William Morris fan, where to get that collection of papers. But they're a beautiful wrapping paper, and I needed something quite large to cover this big album with. So as you can see, I have blended it with some calico so that I could get right around the cover, because it's a huge expanse to cover, and I think my cat may have walked across this at some point in time, this tablecloth. So I've covered it in the wrapping paper, and then I used the calico extension to cover the wraparound part of the folio. And I'll just open it up, and or that you can actually see when I open it. I don't think we'll fit it all in. So what I might do, I'll start over this side, and hopefully I've got you in enough so that you can see where that is. Okay, so on this side, this is the side where your flaps would be. So in this little one, I'll just show you. So these would be your flaps right here. So I have covered these flaps here in the William Morris paper as well, and I have left them quite loose so they're not restricting, they're not tight down, so that you've got enough room to stack your bits and pieces in, and it's not going to fall out. And I've just got a piece of bubble wrap over this so that it's safe when it's travelling, and you probably don't need that, but I've just used that to hold everything together. So inside there I have a notebook I've actually just put this little piece of elastic around it too, just to hold the things together also while they're travelling. So you would have things like your notebook in there to write down any notes that you might want about your art or things that you see if you're out and about in the wilderness, or you've got some beautiful scenery and you've got lots of ideas flowing into your mind. You can write them down on your notepad. I've added in here some tiny and a large little art board. So these are for painting on. So I've got two sizes in those, and they are quite solid, as you can see. So you could do some painting on those if the fancy took you. I've got a small one here and a large one there, and I've also put in my favourite sketching pencil, which is a double E, and you can't get those here anymore, so I actually had to send away to another country to get hold of those. So I bought a whole box. And my favourite size paintbrush, which is the number 6, and that's a Taklon round, because I prefer to use the non-animal fibre paintbrushes. So the Taklon is pretty good and it does a good job. So I've got those tucked in there. This is a artist trading card stamp, so you can use that to stamp things, and you can put the artist, the title, the theme, the date, the number, whatever. So you can use that either in your journals or on your art piece or wherever you like. And I've got here a little notepad just for random little notes that you might want to make in a hurry about somewhere you go or something, someplace you've been to, or art supplies that you think, well, I might like to get next time I'm in the art store. So they all tuck very neatly back into that zone. So I'll take the elastic out. You only really need that when you're travelling, otherwise they sit perfectly well in there and underneath there. So that is the spot for tucking all your bits and pieces away. You could too, if you wanted to, add a little tray of paints in there. You know, grab your favourite little mini paint tray if you're into watercolours or whatever, or a couple of tubes of your favourite colour could go in there. So that's some little odds and ends just to poke in there. So that's that side. Now over this side, I'll bring you across, so hopefully you can see the full extent. Oh, I'm not sure. This is reaching right across the table. So there's your fold. And this side I have got some watercolour paper, and I've used elastic down the middle so that you can fit in 2 piles of paper if you so desire. I've only got one in here at the moment, but you can certainly add more. And I've put in a variety of watercolour papers, and you've got plenty there that you can actually do some nice artwork over the weekend while you're out and about or whatever you're doing. That's one of my irises that I painted. So if you're sort of just doing things on the run, it gives you a chance to have your favourite items there where you can grab them and you don't have to go off looking for things. So I've put some sheeting down the spine of those so that you can take them in and out without damaging your paper, and watercolour paper is very hard to fold without damaging it, so the sheeting or calico strips will help you to be able to move that backwards and forwards without taking it in and out without doing any damage to it. In this pile here I have some inspirational pages that I really like. These are my favourite of this particular artist, which is Norman Rockwell. So I've got a couple of his paintings there for inspiration, and I've got a little stack of different types of papers to trial and error. So if you want to just have a play, there's black. I mostly use the black myself when I'm doing pastels, because that's one of the favourite things I like to work with is pastels. So you can use pencils and all different sorts of things on those. You've got your rough watercolour paper, slightly smoother one. You've got different shades of colour, so you've got your creams and your whites and your black. So that gives you just a little range to play with. So if you have a play around, then you know, you can try a few different things out while you're relaxing in your weekend holiday or whatever you're taking your artwork off to do with. So I just thought I'd show you that. The idea itself I have seen from a couple of different ladies. Rachel from Roxy Creations has a lovely tutorial on making something similar, and also Wendy from Wendy's Journal Adventures, she did something similar last year as well. So if you want to look those ladies up, you can get some great ideas on how to put things like this together. So thank you for watching today, and I'll be back again soon with another journal to show you. Bye for now.